Well, friends, it has been a wild year. The last time we gathered in this building was on March 15th. Since we've gone online to worship, opened up our building as a safe haven for people to live in for short periods of time when they were evicted from their homes or were in danger or nearly froze to death in an ice storm. We've moved outside worship and we felt the sunshine on our faces when it was 75 degrees and the freezing cold on our faces when it was 40 degrees. We've made meals for one another, given out dozens of coats, hats, gloves, blankets, and socks to our neighbors in need, grieved with one another as we've experienced loss after loss, marched for justice, equal rights, and human rights. We've met with community leaders calling for change. We've educated our children via Zoom and Saturdays in the park. We've done book studies on spirituality, eschatology, which is end times theology, and even prayed with one another via Zoom. We gave away our building to a small group of people who were trying to start their church in a pandemic and were forced to do it online. We skipped worshiping altogether on Easter because of a global shutdown, and we worshiped the newborn King outside on a freezing cold Christmas Eve night. We've brought children to worship outside and our dogs to worship outside, and we've checked up on one another through our parish group network. And you have been the very best neighbors. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm proud to be your pastor. We pray that 2021 will make a turn, but as we said a few weeks ago on Vision Sunday, the pandemic or the stress that our world faces will not go away quickly. It goes away when people like us are diligent in living against the tide of greed and gluttony, despair, and division by living as a group of people that are generous, disciplined, hope-filled, and unified. In Jeremiah 29, the prophet says to those in the midst of their own global crisis that they need to hang on a while, but they need to actively hang on because God is at work even while they wait. That's why he says, build homes and plan to stay, plant gardens and eat the food they produce, marry and have children, then find spouses for them so that you may have many grandchildren. Multiply, do not dwindle away, and work for the peace and prosperity of the city where I sent you into exile. And pray to the Lord for it, for its welfare will determine your welfare. In 2021, we look forward to doing these 4 things, and if we give and we stick together, a pandemic cannot stop us in doing what we've been called to do. So we let this text guide us. The first thing that we want to do is build a home. We are still committed to this. We want to pay off our building because even when we can't worship in it, it has been used as a safe haven for our community, and we want to free up our resources to give away. We've been given a gift and we want to offer this building and our resources as gifts to others. People have used this building as an internet cafe, a place to get warm and to sit down, and even a place to sleep. Secondly, we look forward to starting an urban farm in partnership with St. Anthony Hospital and Valor Hospital to meet the needs of our hungry neighbors. Our desire is to begin building raised beds and preparing the ground in February. Why? Because Jeremiah says plant gardens. But it's more than that. Jesus himself says, when you feed a hungry brother or sister, you're feeding me. And 3, we want to invest in our children and the children in our area because they are the most precious and most vulnerable of our neighbors. To give to the 8th Street Church is to give to their care, their education, and their faith development. That is why we make such a big deal about schools and teachers and administrators every single year. Now, when I come to my office every day, I see a sign at the entrance that reminds me of who we are and what we are doing here. It says, let's bring hope and change to our lives and to our city. And that's why I want you to make yourselves at home in this city and work for its welfare. That's why I say this 4th thing, finally pray for the city's well-being, because if things go well for the city, things will go well for you, for us. Now, my wife Holly and I have a personal philosophy when it comes to giving. When times are hard, that is the time to give more, not time to give less. You have the permission to see about our giving. You have the permission to talk directly to Charlie Seitz, our church treasurer, about our giving, because we believe that pandemics cannot unhinge what is possible for us to do together with God's help. This is the reason why we're here. This is the reason why we give. And if you'd like to support the ministry of the 8th Street Church with year-end giving, it is not too late. You can give online at 8thstreetchurch.org/give. Or you can text the amount of your gift to 84321, or you can mail your gift to our location, 701 Northwest 8th Street. By supporting our church, you're doing something world altering. As we move into this new year, let us continue to be generous and let us continue to stick together to do this good work. I will see you, hopefully personally and face to face, in 2021. Grace and peace to you, my friends.